Hi, everybody. I'm Donna Terrell. For the first time since 2007, Little Rock will elect a mayor not named Mark Stodola. Glenn Swartz, Frank Scott Jr., Warwick Sabin, Vincent Tolliver, and Baker Kurrus are all running for this position. Fox 16 will be talking to them this week, and we begin with former school superintendent for the Little Rock School District, Baker Kurrus. I want to thank you for being with us.
It's a pleasure, Donna. Thank you.
Well, you know what? We're going to get right into this, and I want to start off talking about Amazon. As we all know, Amazon is opening a small company, but a company no less. It's Amazon, so it's still a big deal in North Little Rock. I do know that the city of Little Rock currently pays roughly $300,000 to the Chamber of Commerce each year for economic development. The Chamber of Commerce was very instrumental in getting Amazon here and getting them to North Little Rock. We're paying all this money, but this is a regional chamber, which means they're not just looking out for Little Rock, they're looking out for several different cities. So, having said that, do you think the city of Little Rock, if you're chosen mayor, should continue working that closely and perhaps relying in many ways on the chamber?
Well, most cities our size do have a regional focus, and we are especially prone to needing a regional focus. We're landlocked on the north, we're landlocked essentially on the east and west, and to the south we hit a county line. So everything we do is going to be a regional effort. I think that I'm going to look at every expense if I get in the job, and that'll be one I'll examine very, very carefully.
Okay, all right. You were fired as school superintendent for the Little Rock School District. Mike Poore, your replacement. If you're chosen as mayor, certainly you're going to need to have a good collaborative relationship with him in terms of, you know, addressing issues that come up with the school that the city has control of. In fact, from what I understand, currently the mayor meets with him several times during the month. How do you think that's going to work? It seems to me it would be a little awkward.
Well, it's not going to be at all awkward, Donna. I was non-renewed. I never shot my mouth off. I never told anybody off. I didn't do any of that stuff because I knew that wasn't in the best interest of the school district. And I've worked cooperatively with Mr. Poore. I like him. We get along great. I talked to him as recently as less than a week ago. I talked to him on the day school started. I talk to him all the time, and I'll do anything I can to help him. He knows that, and he'll do anything he can to help me. I'm just sure of that. It'll be a solid working relationship, as it has been since the day I walked out of the office.
So no real hard feelings?
None at all. I'm not worried about my feelings so much. This is a school district we're dealing with in a city. And that's why I'm not saying I took the high road. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But I knew it's a round world. What goes around comes around, and there'll be a day when we need to have a conversation with everyone in the city. And I'm never going to burn a bridge. I'm not going to hold a grudge, and I don't hold any about that. I have a great working relationship with Mr. Poore. I was in 2 schools last week, 2 Little Rock schools, talking to kids, and he knows about that.
Okay. You know, I was reading how you think neighborhoods are very important, and neighborhoods should be more of a focus in terms of helping our children in school. You think stronger neighborhoods will make the learning environment better for students. You also think it could help in fighting crime. Why do you feel so strongly about that, and what would you do to make our neighborhoods better? If someone is listening and they're thinking, you know, I'm really not happy with the environment in which I live with, what is Baker Kurrus going to do to help them have a better living environment? Well,
neighborhoods are critical, and they're critical not just for schools. They're critical for the people who live there. They're critical for the city's tax base. We get most of our money from sales taxes, and if lots are vacant and houses are empty, people aren't living there and spending their money. That's $100 million of our $210 million operating budget comes from sales taxes, and property taxes are critically important as well. So neighborhoods are vital, and we've allowed almost overlooked our central city. And I've talked to developers who want to develop there. I've talked to homeowners who live there, own their homes there, want to age in place, so to speak. I've talked to young families who are living there now and want to invest there. That's what I know how to do that. I've done it before. And you start with a sense of place. You start with a starting place where you know you can get a foothold, and then you move through a city. And then you enable people, you enable builders. It's a complex process, but it's doable. It's done all over the country. It's not unique to us. And we can make a difference there. I know I can.
Do you think the current mayor has neglected neighborhoods?
I wouldn't say that. I would say that we as a city have failed to focus on some of our neighborhoods. We failed to be cooperative and collaborative. We've tended to blame the neighborhoods blame the schools blame the neighborhoods. That's pointless and gets us nowhere. But if you had a real penchant for this, and you went to builders, for example, and welcomed them, and you cleared title to some of these properties that are very tangled up, owned by out-of-state people with large liens. We have $2.5 million worth of tax liens and cleanup liens and demolition liens on city properties, and they're just sitting there. I want to move. It's got to be urgent. We've got to get in gear. And I've been down there. I know the people, and I think we can make a difference. But it's going to be hard.
Okay. It's going to be one of those tough jobs to tackle.
It won't be easy, but it's doable. And if we focus and we work hard and we're clever and inventive and we focus a little bit more rather than trying to do everything all over town, let's focus here.
Let's stay focused. You have said, and I read this just today actually, you said that the mayor is the CEO, the chief executive officer of the city. The city manager is the chief administrative officer, but the buck stops with the CEO. So having said that, and a lot of people are wondering, there's been a lot of rumblings, your position on whether you feel that this should be returned to a strong mayor type city where the mayor is calling the shots and not so much the city manager in terms of running the city.
Well, I've got the ordinance here with me if we want to look at it. And you're exactly right. You've done your homework. The mayor is the CEO, the chief executive. Now that is where the buck stops. There's no question about that. And if you look at the ordinance in '07 when we passed it, it said we want accountability. We want a strong mayor. And the ordinance goes on to say that apart from preparing the budget and administering the budget, which is jointly done, the city manager performs the duties of the office at the direction of the mayor. Now, I like the city manager. He's a good city manager, but it's been confusing because we haven't really operated, in my view, in the same way. Now, every CEO takes a different spin on a new job. I'll be a different CEO, but I will fill up the space. I mean, I'm not a shrinking violet, and I like to lead from the front. So it'll be different, but I think it'll be different good, and I'm anticipating positive working relationships.
I don't think anyone's ever accused you of being a shrinking violet, that is for sure. So what does this mean for Bruce Moore's position, the current city manager?
Well, always think in terms of positions. Don't think in terms of people. People change, positions don't. And so the CEO, the mayor, will work with a city manager who will be an operating officer. It's a non-political job. It was never designed to be a political position. It was designed to be a job for an expert, somebody who's good with finance, good with organizational management, good with getting things done, at the direction of, and that's what the ordinance says, at the direction of the CEO. That's the mayor. That's where we're going to go. We're going to go right back to where we should have been to start with, and perhaps where we were. But over time, I think we drift a little bit. It'll be a chance to reinvigorate the whole city, I think.
Okay. We here at Fox 16, you know about this, our Victory Over Violence initiative. It's been more than a year since we've been doing it. We're trying to help cut down on crime. Well, we got some good news today. Violent crimes are down in the city. Homicides down 34%. Overall crime down 12%. Our current mayor, Mark Stodola, he credits his Little Rock for Life program. What do you think of that? And is this something you would want to continue? He has said he hopes the next mayor will.
Well, it's a long plan. I've read it. I've got it with me if we want to look at it. And it's a good plan. It's very general, but it's got good aspects to it. And the thing that it really does that I think's had the greatest impact is the same thing had the impact during those tough years in the 90s. It's this interagency cooperation between lots of different, 16 different agencies I think were involved in the last big crystal meth bust. That everybody from the postal inspectors all the way to the FBI, U.S. Attorney's Office, that's what gets crime. Crime's regional. And so we've got to continue to do that interagency cooperation and stay fully staffed with our police department.
Okay, all right. Well, you know, I think that's going to wrap it up for now. Is there an overall message you want to leave people who may be on the fence about voting for you or just aren't sure, because there are 5 men running for this job?
Well, I've got a different skill set, Donna. I've got a lot of experience. I've been there. You're going to turn this city over in less than a month to somebody. It's a $265 million enterprise with 2,500 people, 14 different operational departments. I can do that, and I'll do it hard. I'll work hard. I've got a track record of accomplishment, and I'm on fire for this job. I want this job, and I'm willing to ask for it, and I'm willing to work when I get it.
Okay, all right. Well, Baker Kurrus, it's so nice having you here. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much,
I know
Donna. It's a pleasure.
You said a month, but it's a long road ahead still, right?
It is, indeed.
All right. Well, thanks for being here. And thank you for being here. We will have another interview coming up tomorrow. Kevin Kelly will be working on that one. He will actually be interviewing Vincent Tolliver, so we hope you'll tune in to fox16.com for that. And as always, watch us on Fox 16 News at 5:30 and 9. So long, everybody.